Hi all. So today we are painting this, the golden hour. But keen-eyed people of you might notice that this piece of paper does not have the pre-drawn section on it that you normally get with this palette. And that's because I've already recorded this once and ABS did me the dirty and didn't record any of it. So I'm having it. So this is the one that I done just now. This is the proper one out of the book that had the drawings. That had these wheatgrass bits here and some grass bits drawn there. That's all it was on it. So I think I can recreate this without too much of a problem. And hopefully I'll do a better job. So we are redoing it. So this is kind of cheating because it is my second attempt. But not much I can do about it. OBS did me the day, didn't record, and I don't want you guys missing out on the lesson because I said it was coming. By lesson, I don't mean I'm teaching you because we all know I am learning. I just want to show you what I'm learning and I can talk through what I struggled with on the first one and all that sort of stuff, you know? So, the first thing it wants us to do is make the paper wet. We are going for gloss stage of wet. That's what she asked for, so that's what we're going with. I may have put a bit much on there. We've got some puddling, so I'm going to dry my brush. Yeah, no, I totally didn't forget the tissue then. To be able to, so yeah, I'm drying my brush just to take a little bit off of. And I think that's more of the gloss. There's no puddling. It's still a little, yeah, I think we're good there. So if you remember, we covered about how wet to have your paper in the honeycomb episode where she was teaching us how the different water stages affect how your paint reacts. As I said, I do totally recommend getting this book because she really goes down and explains how all of that works. And that's Learn to Watercolour 20 Step-by-Step Beginner-Friendly Lessons on Water Paper by Lacey Walker, Rebel Unicorn Crafts. And I said, I bought this book without even knowing it was a YouTuber who actually wrote the book. I just like the look of the book. So I'm in no way associated or advertising. It's just purely the book I'm using. So if you guys want to learn along with me, you can get the same book and you can learn as I go as well. So we are having yellow. I'm gonna clean that out because that got a bit pink in it. Again, I said in my previous video that's no longer a video because you didn't see it. I've been having a little trouble keeping my colours separately. So my colours aren't as bright as you want. I'd rather be able to move so I haven't got pink right next to the yellow because I keep getting it caught in there. But we're going for, I think she said 40% saturation for this. Yeah. So she wants a 40% saturation for our colours. So I'm just kind of trying to pile it in. And we're doing yellow, orange, pink, blue and grey. So just kind of trying to refresh my palettes. They're not fully dry. Some of them are not dry at all, but some of them are because of the different consistency. The grey is already drying quite nicely because that was more of a creamy consistency, so it was a lot less water in it. I'll just covering this. Hoping my paper isn't drying too much while I do this because it is quite warm in here today. Okay. And I don't think I need to work up any more blue, and I won't touch the grey until we're ready for it. Right, so if we look at this one that I did, now my paper's a bit bigger, but we did a diagonal across. That's what she has us do. So we start with the yellow, and we're just kind of doing a diagonal across. I could do a bit more water there to think. I think, yeah, my page is already starting to dry out, which is insane. That's how hot it is today. There we go, now it's moving a bit better. I think what I'm going to attempt is to get just some yellow. But can you see how the yellow is getting tainted by my pink already because it just runs over? There we go. And then we move into the orange. It is going up. I want them to blend. And then we move into the pink up here. See how my paper's still buckling? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've taped it down, I thought, pretty well, but apparently not. A bit more orange in here, I think. And try to get some more of the yellow there. It is not spreading as well as it did last time. I'm just gonna do this a minute with my bigger brush, blend it across. This paper is reacting very differently than the paper from her book, so that's something to keep in mind, that paper can react differently. Which seems obvious, but as someone new like me, you know, it's watercolour paper. Why are they so different in the way they react? But they are. I kind of forgot to save the white, so I'm just gonna try to dot a few places to lighten it up a minute. And then she has us kind of put some darker spots in to kind of give it kind of a textury cloud thing. My thing just tried to run away from me there. I don't know what the trick is to keeping your water is clean. My water gets dirty so fast. Again, we just want to have a little bit of thing. We don't want it too smooth. We want some colour, depth, texture, that sort of thing in it. So it's kind of like a cloudy, sunsetty sky, you know? So it's some more longer yellow here. And then blue, which I used this one up here. Oh, my paper is drying out so fast. So this paper is drying out way faster than her paper that we used, because I got a gorgeous purple colour in this when I did it. They blended so nicely, and now it's not getting quite that, but never mind. I've gone over the white that I saved. I want to give that yellow kind of a wash down. It's what I did a minute ago. I don't want too strong of a colour, but because we're going to have it show through the grass area, just want to hint of the colour down there. So just gentle wash, and let's try to unharden that line there. How's that? Did I ruin it? Want blurrier saturation, so just getting it wet so it spreads a bit more. I know that's way wetter than she said, but this paper just seems to be absorbing it, and instead of spreading nicely, it's just all over the place. There we go. Okay, so now we've got to make that dry, which of course I need to make very dry because I just got it very wet. I did much better. This one I did so much better in. The paper reacted as I expected because of the way I practiced on this paper with the honeycomb one. This paper is not what I expected. It is watercolour paper, and it's reasonably good watercolour paper. But it's reacting very differently, so this is a hell of a learning curve for me. Right, so we'll get it dry and see where we go from there. Okay, here's dry. This is going terribly. it worked so lovely on that one, and it's not doing so well on that one. See, I can do it. But, oh well. We live and learn, don't we? So, we are on to the black. Now, with the black, I keep saying black, it's grey. With the dark grey, we are going for a creamy consistency rather than a watery consistency. We don't want it spreading too far, so she calls it a creamy consistency. Again, the book really does go into not just the water on the paper, but the water onto the brush, and the different consistencies you have for that as well. So it is really good. So I do recommend buying the book and doing it. So you can see we've got these wheat shaft things. That's what we're supposed to do first. So I've got to wing it because obviously I don't have the picture drawn on this one like I did on that one. So I've just kind of got to work out and do a kind of rough idea without the picture and hope it goes right, you know. Now I have trouble keeping my delicate point on this, so these are going to be a little chunkier than the other one because it was easier for me to stay within the lines to see where my point should be going. Whereas not so much on this. See how I'm getting it much thicker? Didn't struggle that much with this before, so it's going terribly. Never mind. I think I need my brush to be a little wetter to try to keep that point. My brush just doesn't seem to want to keep the point. It was not great, but it was doing better on the previous one than it is this one. I don't know what I've done to the brush to make it worse, but I have somehow, and I'm not sure how I made it worse in the first place, but we're getting there. I'm having a little trouble keeping my spacing correct without the sketch there, but I didn't want to try to sketch it because I wasn't sure how having pencil on it would react. So we're just going with this. Now I won't get the angles the same as she had because again I'm winging it, but we should get a rough similar-ish pattern of it, you know. It doesn't matter because grass blows in the wind in all different angles, so this can be an image that was took after a wind gust, and so the grass is in a different direction. I think I'm gonna do one that way because she had some curving that way, but mine's naturally curving that way. So I think I'm going to attempt to do one that way just to try to break the curve up so they're not all blowing exactly like we want them blowing backwards and forwards. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? Am I talking out of my arse? Probably. A bit longer. It looks a little short. How's that? Close enough? Another one here. So thank you for all those who have been enjoying this series with me and learning along with me. I'm enjoying your comments and your messages. People are worried about sharing their work in a public form. I do have contact forms and emails that you can share them to me with, or you can DM me on Instagram to share your work, and that way you don't have to share it to the public if you're not wanting to share it to the public on one of my public forums. Because I do have Discord, and obviously there is the YouTube community post section that you can share your work in. But if you'd rather share it privately, feel free to DM me on Instagram or on Discord. I love seeing what you do, and I mean, some of you even email me because you're not on socials, and that's fine too. I just love seeing what you all do. But do leave a comment, let me know what you think of this series so far. And have you bought the book? Are you going to be learning along with me? Or if you have any hints and tips how I can keep my point on my brush and how I can judge how water's gonna react on different watercolour paper, because clearly this is a different type of watercolour paper than she uses in her book, because this reacted very differently. And I don't know why. Definitely had a little problem with spacing and gaps on this. So it's not going to look as good. That sketch was very helpful to try to keep it in line. But it's not terrible, you know? I've seen worse, I've done worse. So I don't mind too much. Move that out of my way a minute. It's amazing how something so simple can be so hard at the same time. Due to hand tremors and shakes and jerking and all that sort of stuff. These small details are actually really hard and quite painful on my hands. But it's good training to get my hand strength back up, which is part of the reason I'm doing all this, trying to improve my hand strength and hand-eye coordination, because it's got quite bad over the years with my health problems. I'm hoping this is going to help. And, you know, they do art therapy for a reason. It helps mentally and physically. It was very sideways, isn't it? But never mind. How many did she do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want some more. So we'll put one here and one there, I think. And then I think that'll look roughly right. Maybe. Will do for now, won't it? So, if you're into more than just art, if you're into yarn and wool, knitting, crochet, weaving, and hand-dyed yarns, I'm currently running a competition. It's on until June the 10th, 2026. And you can find the link to my website for the entry form on all my socials and in the YouTube post. You know, the community board thing I was talking about. There is a direct link to the post for the competition. And what you can do, you just have to give us your name and your email address so I can contact you. That's it. There's nothing else to it. And you can be in for a chance to win a pair of weekend tickets to a new wool show in the Midlands, Wolverhampton Racecourse, I believe. Info's all on the post, and it's in July. And if you want free tickets to go to a wool show, then please do enter. And if you sign up to my newsletter at the same time for my website, you can also get a 10% off your next order code. But you don't have to sign up to the newsletter in order to enter the competition. That's just an extra thing if you want to. Right. I think that's enough because she didn't have too many. She had 11. We got 11 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Okay. So the next stage. Now, again, she said to flick for the glass. Just do a bunch of flicks. I was struggling with that. So I did controlled movements instead. I started with this brush and then I moved on to the flat brush because I was struggling to get my point to stay as a point. But I'm going to try really hard to keep it thin. Well, you see how I keep going thicker and thinner? I can't seem to keep my hand control so that it stays as one thin line. You see how bad that got there? My hands just, they go up and down and I struggle. So if anyone's got any tips and tricks on how I can improve that, that would be really helpful. These are coming out so much thicker than they did. See what I mean? I struggle, and as I've already painted this once, my hands are quite tired, and so I'm really struggling for the control. But we will persevere, and we will try to make it work. So I'm just making sure each of these wheat things has a stalk attached to it. Because, you know, we don't want them floating in midair. And then after that, I can do random bits of grass. And she's just kind of flicked all over. As I said, she flicked. I can't. Yeah, she says just like flick grass like that. I can't do that. I also can't do it away from me. I have to come towards me. Again, I guess that comes with practice. So I just kind of did a bunch of lines like this. And see how I'm getting thick and thin. Which is great if that's what you want. But it's not what I want. I would like some control. So, hints and tips on how to keep control would be really, really welcome. I mean, I don't think I can do it while supporting my hand because I need the movement. You also need to stop making them quite so wavy. We want them bending and bowing, but we don't want them making S shapes, you know. Need to finish more over here before I do too much over there because my hand ends up resting. She just says do lots to give a grass-like effect. So that's what we're hoping to do. But yeah, if there's anyone with hints and tips how I can improve my hand control while painting, that would be really appreciated. Let's try doing what she said about going away. So you got too heavy-handed there. See how flick I stopped too early. I don't know how she does the long flicks without putting too much pressure on. which is where my problem is. I'm trying. I promise I'm trying, but you see how it's just, I don't know. Is there a special way to move your hand to do it? My hands are so much wobblier when I move away from me than coming forward. But they're not exactly non-wobbly when they're coming towards me either. Basically, I can't do a smooth line to save my life. And see how thick that got then? I pressed too much. I know some people hold their brush further away for... No, see, that just made it even thicker. How do you do that? You know, I'm going to do what I did last time. And move away from what she tells us, which is that brush. And move on to what I did on the first one. And I'm going to move on to a brush that's a kind of angled one. Still wasn't great, but it was better, you know? And just trying to fill it in a little, you know? You can do short flicks at the bottom here, because, you know, you're not having to have everything meet the bottom, because it gets hit by the next layer. That makes sense? But I also have to be careful, because see how I'm getting thick again? I don't know how she does that flicking. Is it a slow controlled flick? I don't understand. You see how if I try to make sure my hand doesn't dip down, it comes up and I end up with dot dot dot, which is not what I want, you know? So please do give me some hints and tips. Or, you know, just enjoy watching me suffer when I try to work this out. Depends on whatever floats your boat, I suppose, doesn't it? I'm just trying to do some shorter, darker ones here. Because dark, obviously, closer to the front. How's it looking, you reckon? I'm sure this palette is a really nice palette for someone who knows what they're doing. But for someone like me who has not a clue, um, having all those colours so close together, you can see I keep mixing the colours. I need to have them further apart. I know it's a compact system so that you can travel around with it and it's not going to get in the way. But I'm really struggling to stop the colours blending into the other ones, especially when I've got a wet brush doing a lot more watery colours rather than this creamy consistency. See how I'm getting double bits there because my hand's pushing down too much. But you see, if I try not to, I end up with the stuttering effect. Looks like Morse code. I am really enjoying doing these. And maybe if I had better control over my hands, I didn't have such health problems with them, it wouldn't be quite so hard. Because when I used to paint many years ago, I had much more control over my hands. And I wasn't a bad painter, if I do say so myself. When I did GCSE art, the tutors actually kept my GCSE work to show future years the sort of work that can be done. Never did get that back either. So, I used to be pretty good. That was back when I did oil painting, and I moved on to acrylic when I had kids, because I couldn't have the wet oil paints around so much. Because toddlers and fingers don't mix well with oil paint. But this watercolour is a very new technique for me. And then add to the fact that I'm having hand tremors and things nowadays. And it's not going so well. So yeah, I can do little flicks now, because at this point people aren't really gonna see that it's not meeting up somewhere down there. Not unless you sit and intentionally try to... No, damn it, look, see how big I did them then? I think we're just gonna quit there before my hands get any tireder and I mess up anymore. So this was take 1 and this is take 2. What do we think? Did I do all right? It's definitely different. But it's not terrible, is it? It's better. The colour's definitely more muted on this one than that one. But maybe that's because I had to water it down so much more. See, I've got black paint all over my finger. How did I do that? Because this paper seemed to be really drying out so much faster than this one. And now it is getting quite warm in here, so it could be that. But it is only 10:43, so it's not like it's super hot of the day and it's already drying really fast. So I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you think. So next week's lesson we are doing a it says summer bouquet, but it's a single flower, so it's not really a bouquet when it's a single flower, is it? I'm not good at flowers, so I don't know what type of flower it is. Oh, she says here about a black-eyed Susan, so maybe it's a black-eyed Susan then? Oh, I don't know. I love flowers, I'm just not good at it. But that's what we're going to be doing next week, so do check back for that. So these are going out on Fridays, and they're going out weekly now because people ask for them to be more often. And I've not cut out the drying sequence this time round. Let me know what you think of that. Instead of stopping and starting and chopping it around and having lots of transitions, I've tried to keep a more fluid motion this time. So let me know whether you prefer that or whether you prefer the stop and start transitions. Oh wow, my brain is fine. I'm gonna go. I will see you all later. You'll take care. Bye.